But we're truly excited. Right, let's connect now with Felicity, find out what Mother Nature has in store for us this weekend. Hello, Felicity. Good morning.
Good morning, Helen. How are you?
I am fantastic. How are you doing?
Yes, I am better today than yesterday.
Now, I know there's a lot in store for us today and, in fact, throughout the weekend. Do let us know what to expect by way of weather.
Thank you. Good morning to our dear viewers and listeners. For today, we expect it to be partly cloudy over most portions of the country. Greater Accra, we expect partly cloudy this morning. By afternoon to evening, we expect some few areas to experience rain and thunder, especially those of us that are around the slightly north of the coastline. Then, likewise, those in the western region too will also have some rain today again. Those in eastern region, Akimodan, Chifukwaso, and its environs to also have. Northern region, part of UND Tamale is also on our radar for today. Likewise, tomorrow to Sunday. So the should watch out for thunderstorms with rain. If possible, some light and moderate windy conditions. For our forecast, we expect the sea to remain rough with some rain and thunderstorms over the ocean throughout the weekend. So if they want to navigate, they need to be cautious on the ocean. But then we'll keep updated them with the marine forecast as spent today, tomorrow, and Sunday. For the water lake, it's also cold this morning. By late afternoon, some areas are likely to have some rain and thunder, especially those around Bo into Akosombo, and then those around the Aquam Plain. Should watch out for some thunderstorms this evening, and likewise tomorrow, Saturday.
I see. Felicity, thank you so much for that weather update.
Yeah, most welcome.
Enjoy
Have a nice weekend.
Your weekend as well. Thank you so much. Again, that was Felicity, Appiah-Ampofo, chief forecaster with the Ghana Met. Sounds like there's a lot of rain in store for us this weekend. So brace yourselves.
3FM 92.7 Urban Lifestyle Radio Station. Sunrise on 3FM. The best in the morning.
I'm here to home, here to we, I'm here to dabala. I'm here to heavy, I'm here to tepi, I'm here to gabada. I'm here to home, here to we, I'm here to dabala. I'm here to
seating in the congregation of mankind. Touch them where man kindles feeling, till emotions translate to logic, so we may witness emancipation from a prison so tragic.
Sunrise on 3FM, the best in the morning.
You don't know where you they come from. My bad utopo. I'm yet your home, yet your way, yet your dabala. I'm yet your heavy, yet your take, yet your gabada.
And that's from the EP Alternative Yom in For Your Time Check. It is some 16 minutes to the top of the hour. It's Friday. The weekend is here. Let's go on a quick break. When we come back, we dive deep into what the newspapers have in store for us this morning. Don't go too far. This is the best breakfast show in all of the land. This is 3FM Sunrise on 3FM 92.7.
Get ready, Ghana. The road is calling and the wheels are spinning. It's the 3FM Tour du Ghana happening Saturday, 7th June 2025. From the heart of Accra to the border town of Ullo, we are pedaling for the planet in a thrilling 192-kilometer ride across Ghana's scenic eastern corridor. Whether you're a seasoned cyclist or a passionate pedal pusher, this is your moment to shine. Form your teams, grab your helmet, and race for glory in Ghana's biggest cycling showdown. Challenge your limits, conquer the distance, ride for sustainability, be part of history. To register, call 0531 100 927 or 0532 200 927. 3FM Tour du Ghana, powered by 3FM.
3FM 92.7, Urban Lifestyle Radio Station.
A journey of Pan-Africanism and consciousness. It is your regular taxi driver with the urban blend and 3FM 92.7 in living stereo every day, Monday to Friday from 12:30 p.m. till 3 p.m. This is the show everybody listens to, so your business will certainly do well here. My name, Black Rasta. I am the rootical, heatical, Don Gargan, Mua Fire.
Come forward. Atinga ya chika fankare, Azure ya chika fankare, Abama ta chika fankare.
3FM, your urban lifestyle radio.
Sunrise on 3FM, the best in the morning.
That we have seen recently. I think one of the things that if you ask a simple question to the NDC to point out exactly what policy they have implemented that has resulted in the appreciation of the city, they cannot tell you one that has been implemented, not sort of talked about, but actually implemented. They cannot tell you one such policy. They only passed their budget in March. They've not even issued any contracts and paid for anything, pretty much. So you cannot ascribe what is happening to the currency to a policy that they have implemented. There's no such policy that has been implemented that has had that impact yet. For me, we had anticipated the impact of gold in this economy. I talked about it when we got into dire straits in 2022. Bank of Ghana had bought $5 billion worth of gold. After all the noise of the election, people are paying attention to our reserves. That is one thing, which we have built to 30 tons. Secondly, you've mentioned that the US dollar itself is on the decline globally. And that has also strengthened. If you go to Zambia, for example, the kwacha has gained a lot of ground also because you have the US dollar declining in value because of what is happening in the US with all of that. So I think those are critical. And then there's the third element, is that they are not spending. I mean, if you are managing an economy, you have to pay your bills. They are not paying IPPs, for example. This is why the doomsday is so acute. And they are not paying contractors. So when you are not spending, there's less pressure on your currency. So those are some of the reasons why you are seeing an appreciation of the currency.
J91, but as I said, I don't give promises and I don't stand by the promises. Whatever I say, I do. So what I'm saying is that this exercise is not a 91. We are on the streets, so we make sure that the roads are clear and everybody know that me joining with my brother here, we have done a great job. God bless you. We are not done. The next 1 hour we are going back to the streets. From here we are going to pass through where we are coming from, all the way to Circle. And if there is more strength, we'll go to Carnation. Then we'll continue tomorrow. God bless you. We'll see you soon. Thank you.
FM 92.7, lifestyle radio station.
The people of Ghana, we wish to warmly welcome our beloved Vice President back home. It has been a trying time for everybody, and a lot of prayers were said for your safe return. And so today is a special day that you have stepped back in the country, on the land of Ghana, hale and hearty, looking younger, looking cheerful. And we thank God for his mercies. Since you left, your colleagues, we've all missed you. We held the 120-day social contract program, and everybody said you should have been there. But with all the work you did before you went, we continued, and I think that we're able to present to the people of Ghana a significant percentage of the things that we had promised. But in all this, you were missed. Ghana is safe. Things seem to be on the right track, and you've come at the right time to come and continue the work that you so beautifully started. And your colleagues were very happy to have you back. I particularly have missed you because even traveling out of the country has been difficult. They've threatened to impeach me for for going to Togo when you were away. So you're warmly welcome. We are grateful to all the staff outside there who looked after you, our embassy staff in London. I came there myself, and you told me how courteous they had been and how they had been of help. But I think in all this, it raises the issues of us improving our healthcare so that we can handle emergencies like this. We built a quintennial hospital, which is the UGMC, but it's still not at the stage where it can handle some of these cases. And so it's a call to duty that we should implement it the way Professor Mills had intended it to be, so that in future things like this can be, emergencies like this can be handled, without us having to fly out. But we're happy to have you. The doctors say you are 20 years younger and that you are okay and fit for the job. But we'll ask that you take it easy for a little while. And afterwards, we'll see how things go. So thank you very much on behalf of all our colleagues, on behalf of all Ghanaians. I'm sure today Ghanaians will be very happy.
I want to say thanks to God. His mercies have been infinite, as always, and I'm very grateful. I express gratitude to the medical staff too, for seeing the right thing, for making the right proposals. And to my boss, that day, I don't know where you appeared from, but he came and quickly set in motion what we needed to do. And I also want to thank all of you, your prayers, for your good wishes. I can't be thankful enough. I'm very grateful. But I need to isolate, beyond family and friends, your brother, Mr. Ibrahim. He stopped at nothing to ensure that I had what I needed. And then he also came to the hospital. He came to sit by me, and that was healing by itself. So, my little boss, I'm very, very grateful.
In this time I say, when mama spend her last and send you go
4 minutes to the top of the hour. Apologies for a lack of Johnny's Bite this week. Apologies again, there is no Johnny's Bite today. Apologies for a lack of Johnny's Bite this week. But you are listening to the president and also the vice president. She is officially back in the jurisdiction after treatment abroad. Before that, you also heard from Mayor Appiah-Ampofo. And he's been on that decongestion drive all week long. And then before that also, you were listening to former Vice President Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. And he's talking about the reasons why he believes the city is gaining strength. And these have been some of the bigger stories this week. A little recap there of the prominent sounds of the week. But my favorite gentleman there in the studio in pole position, one Sixtus Don Ullo, lead producer right here, 3FM Sunrise. Fantastic. I also have Michael.
Tell him to save his energy. His salary is still 1 week before it.
I don't know what is going on, but we love the energy. We love to see it.
Be distributing titles and not ascribe me one. You're giving him.
Oh, journalist.
You are one Obodo. So
one Obodo.
I was underlined.
Journalist, presenter, moderator, broadcaster extraordinaire. Also in the studio with me this morning. Michael, how are you doing?
I'm good and happy to hear that finally the vice president is back.
That is actually how the new publisher newspaper captures it.
Ah, fantastic. Yeah. Well, on that note, let's dive deep into it.
Says, VIP back and better.
She looks better as well, actually. Looking
President Mahama says the VIP looks 20 years younger.
Hey, you're being sneaky. You're being sneaky.
That's the leftovers of the ones he used already now.
Mr. President, get vibes.
He's a communications expert, isn't he? That's usually one of the credentials that is conferred on him. Communications expert. So as for Yobbing's extraordinaire, yes. Hey, tell you rap you.
So have you ever felt yobbed by the president?
No.
Or no or not yet?
I don't know. I don't even know where to situate
No, I'm
it.
trying to think of it because if you had said former president, then yes, because when he used to come into our fellow Ghanaians, and I used
Then
to
you will
feel
feel
so gingered. I remember he said when the COVID came, one of the advice said we should eat more gobe, we should eat more made in Ghana food so
Then
that
you
we
will say,
can.
this is my president speaking.
I say yeah.
We can bring the economy back.
Yes.
We can, but I've always said that President John Mahama really has this aura around him. If you don't like him, just don't meet him.
Because you'll
be more likely to change your mind after meeting him.
Was it Dr. Baumia years ago who said, who conceded? He said, yes, Mahama is a very nice man.
Oh no, in fact, having reported from Parliament too, you would find the NPP side, telling you that, look, the personality of the man, he's admirable.
Yeah.
He's a nice person. Then they will bring their backs.
Yes, but
so the president has a personality that is largely and widely admired. And I think it's one of his trump cards.
That's right.
He can, so that when we are in moments that we need that fatherly voice, then we will hear it from him, and it would, smoothen things and cool things down for all of us. But a personality there, you can.
But we must add the fact that he's evolved over the last 8 years.
Okay.
Of course.
I think that now you get a greater sense of statesmanship from his personality and his approach to tackling issues over the last few months since he took office. I think now he sounds less political and more nationalistic, and I think that that's quite commendable. If you've noticed how
it is a stage you get to.
life will show you shege.
No, not about life showing shege. As in, the man has been vice president for how many years?
Yeah.
Transformed into president for over 4 years.
Yeah.
So let's say in 6 years he was president for 6 or 5 years.
Yeah.
His own 4 years and the remainder of the Mills's term that he inherited. And then he went on again in opposition the 4 years. Growth is...
Mills's wasn't 2 years, though.
It was less than a year.
Less than a year, actually.
Less than a year.
Less than a year.
Yeah, because he died, I think, about 6 or 8 months to the election.
That's right. So
he did like 5 years instead of the regular 4 years. And so you would expect that this second coming would be more composed, relaxed, thoughtful.
Not always the case with Sixtus.
Thoughtful and thought through. No, you see, there are decisions that he would have struggled with in his first term that he ordinarily should not be struggling with now.
Fair.
Something comes up, and with the benefit of experience, with the benefit of hindsight, and his first term wasn't without controversy.
That's right.
And I'm sure that he learned a lot about it. He has had time. In fact, he himself made that admission that in opposition he has had time to reflect on the 4-year mandate that he had. Remember, at one of the engagements, he said, "Expect a better me, because I have thought about a lot of things, maybe the things I would have done differently. I have evaluated myself and all of that." And that is what probably you are seeing now. I am not surprised. I think that it is to be expected. As to statesmanship, it's only selfishness that would make not just the president, but a minister of state, a member of parliament at a certain age, continue to be partisan rather than nationalistic. When you do the politics up to a certain level, your perception about things begin to change. Your approach to things begin to change. You begin to your thinking transcends the party level into the national level, and that is what we expect to see. No, it's not like some people that you see that at this point you shouldn't be speaking as a party full soldier, but as a statesman.
Certainly.
It is an expectation of all of them, not just the president.
Absolutely. All right, let's carry on with the, I think it was a new publisher, Sixtus.
Yes, the new publisher. I forgot that is what I was reading. There's another one there. Godfred Dame cries foul. Choice of lawyers for CJ probe confirms it is NDC agenda. And it comes with a picture of strong men. You have the Venerable Chachuchi Kata, you have the Venerable Thaddeus Sori, you have the activist Bakavomawo, and you have the respected Godfred Dame. Don't fight me.
Certainly.
On what title I use for who. And minority demand statutory funds payment. You know the statutory funds?
What funds are those?
So this would be the NHI, the common fund.
Right.
Those things. Some of those things are always in arrears.
That's right.
Now to Ghana's favorite newspaper, PPP, vital to sealing tax leakages. Experts are quoted. VIP back home, Professor Opoku Ajiman, flanked by President Mahama and First Lady Lordina Mahama. But they are using the same picture. The Daily Guide uses the same picture as the new publisher. It's a beautiful picture. Bawumia visits Commonwealth Secretary General, and you have the picture of former flag bearer of the NPP, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, with Shirley Ayoko Boche, former Foreign Affairs Minister who won the votes. CJ removal, I want public hearing. Her Ladyship Tokono is speaking. And I have this other one. Okay, I think that is this picture. Dr. Amin Anta pictured with Dr. Sewa Sapong. ECO Group CEO Otibonsu honored. That is also on the front page. Finally, for me, the Ghanaian Times newspaper, Ghana's most authoritative newspaper. 12,000 women live with obstetric fistula. You know that one?
Oh, I have to...
Due to limited capacity to treat. It's one of the troubling ailments that keeps coming up. The country is struggling with. I don't know whether we are not paying much attention to it, but treatment has been a serious matter.
Of fistula?
Limited infrastructure, our main concern. UTASVC laments, and government urge to establish schools for children with special needs, learning disabilities. And on the back page of the Ghanaian Times newspaper, promote beekeeping for sustainable honey production. When were we talking about backyard farming?
Just yesterday.
Gardening. Okay. Do you like honey?
Yes, I like honey. I do, very much so.
Have you seen a beehive before?
I don't. Not in a controlled setting. I'm sure maybe one that had developed, on its own in the wild or so.
All right. Beekeeping. But you learned that in school. Beekeeping.
Or actual practicals or...
No, the one that they were teaching you. I think it was life skills or vocational skills.
I'm sure.
Okay. GIS gets new accommodation in Savlugu.
Which GIS?
GIS, Ghana Immigration Service, I hope. Yes, Ghana Immigration Service.
All right, let me take you to the New Finder newspaper. The front page has this to say: government secures some 450,000 barrels of fuel to avert blackout. Ghana Stock Exchange leads West Africa in Q1 performance. Economist predicts PPI drop will ease prices. On the front page of the BNFT, New Gas secures some US $18.2 million credits facility to accelerate clean cooking transition. Leverage declining inflation to fast-track targeted interventions, GSS to government. Also, VCTF pushes for domestic funding to drive SME growth. GSC set for first IPO since 2018. Let me take you to the Daily Post finally from me. Veep Nana Jane is back to the... Oh, come on. Alleged secret meeting. Eduji Tamaklo releases CCTV footage to refute Alfred Kumi's petition claims. I'm sure many of you have seen that viral clip making the rounds. We'll get into that as we progress. No one is above the law. Ansar Sari on suspended CJ's request for public hearing. Godfrey Dame dragged to General Legal Counsel for alleged misconduct. Michael, what you have?
And the Daily Graphic, oil money to push, big push. Petroleum revenue law amended to channel 70% proceeds into infrastructure. Experts applaud move. That sounds exciting. Now, Ghanaian nurse eyes $250,000 global award. It has a picture of Naomi Oye Ohene Uti, an oncology nurse specialist at the Kolebu Teaching Hospital. Minister inaugurates 532 kilowatt solar plant at Nexans Cable Metal. DTI inaugurates Innovation and Precision Center at ATU, and that's the Design and Technology Institute, one organization known for pushing precision, basically in the TVET space. Now, Gold Board extends deadline for new license regime. No fees stress portal. Over 40,000 students registered. The Ghanaian points, I think you missed it and wrote 4,000 by your story. You said over 40,000, so just for the records. CD appreciation, indeed, ATO is really forcing.
The printer's devil or devils, the printer's devil.
All of them be devil. I like this.
To say it's an honest mistake.
I like this wordplay. CD appreciation. Indeed, ATO is really forcing. Oh, Charlie, bars.
Very, very witty. I like that.
Yeah, and visa application to Ghana will now be processed within a maximum of 5 days. That's according to the Foreign Affairs Minister Samuel Okudzeto-Ablakwa. Suspended CJ Tokunu files injunction against committee probing. Her removal has a picture of not so happy, or is it how do you describe her face? Suspended Chief Justice Gertrude Tokunu. And that's basically I think
her leadership has a very unreadable face.
Rather, or they haven't paid.
I don't know if unreadable.
There are expressions that you see, especially during the election petition hearing, that people would say it is like this, it is like that. Then she would say no, it's not like that.
I would say on the contrary, some might say very readable according to them. They are reading and inferring and what have you. Sticking with the CJ, I'm in the center spread of the Daily Post. Alleged secret meeting. Eduji Tamaklo releases CCTV footage to refute Alfred Kumi's petition claims. I first saw the video on a different network, but I don't know whether they got that footage from Eduji Tamaklo. I was thinking about that particular, the restaurant in question, whether or not anybody that's cited in the video could take issue with appearing in the video. I don't know, Sixtus, if you were having your lunch and you appeared in this video that's now gone viral, would you have a case to make?
In terms of the publication of it?
Yes, in terms of your privacy. Maybe you said you were here, but you were there.
But
now,
is it really that visible? Can we easily identify you, Helen? You are the one sitting in the corner there.
Oh, I don't know. I'm sure some people can zoom in and all of that.
Then they have time, Papa.
Because if you look, it looks like, is that you I'm seeing there? Maybe I had a meeting with you and you... Anyways.
You see, it is for reasons like this that things like this are supposed to be in camera.
Because of all of this.
Because they may affect other interests.
That's what I was thinking about yesterday. What could...
No, but I mean... If you are affected, just know that there's a national interest that is more...
So what about my privacy?
Your privacy is important, but there's also a national interest.
Let me get into that story real quick. 13 after 7, this is still 3FM Sunrise on 3FM 92.7. All right, now the acting chief executive officer of the National Petroleum Authority, NPA, Godwin Eduji Tamaklo, has released what appears to be a CCTV footage from an Accra-based restaurant in an effort to disprove allegations made in a petition filed by Alfred Appiah-Ampofo. The petition calls for the dissolution of the 5-member committee probing the removal of embattled Chief Justice Gertrude Tokunu. Now, in a post on his Facebook account on Thursday, May 22nd, that's just yesterday, Eduji Tamaklo, in a 10-point write-up accompanying the video, which has no sound, stated that the footage completely contradicts the claims made by the petitioner Alfred Kumi. According to him, lawyer Thaddeus Sore, legal representative for one of the petitioners seeking the removal of the suspended Chief Justice Gertrude Tokunu, was seated at the restaurant with Kote Jani, a former Council of State member, talking and eating together at a table. He further stated that Sore appeared unaware of the presence of one of the judges implicated in the petition until his attention was drawn to it. After a brief conversation, they each continued with their separate business. He added that no such meeting to discuss the petition took place. He says, "This is the so-called dinner NPP and its media has been making so much noise about this week. They claim a lawyer for one of the petitioners met with some Supreme Court judges, including Justice Pwamang and Justice Esiedu. They aimed to create an impression that this meeting was to discuss the petition. The attached video footage shows clearly and tells a completely different story." So that's been one of the most trending subject stories in the last 24 hours. Michael, did you get a chance to see this video? Sixtus, have you laid eyes on this particular video? It's a short one.
Yes.
Under 2 minutes, I think I saw the video playing out. I mean, of course, I didn't see the entirety of the lunch, or was it dinner as it played out. But I suppose what Eduji was seeking to highlight when he put this video up on his social media was that a meeting, if you call it a meeting, you are exaggerating what the scenario actually is and was. Yesterday we spoke with private legal practitioner Christian Malm Hesse, and he says it's going to be a movie. He says to strap up, buckle up, and it's going to be interesting, especially if the CJ's request to have this hearing be made public. However, of course, the other argument is that can a CJ say, well, I want this hearing to be made public? Does that override what the Constitution says? The argument being made or making the rounds is that, well, I'm the embattled, shall I say, individual. If I want the hearing to be made public, what bars me from that? But Sixtus, can on a whim, can a decision be made? Can I just opt for my hearing to be made public, even though expressly in the Constitution, the contrary is what is provided for in camera?
I raised those questions yesterday when I was looking at this in the general environment within which the court is most likely going to be treating it. And I asked the same question that you're asking, whether the court even is able to dispense of that constitutionally guaranteed protection. Can the court really come and say that, even though it's constitutionally guaranteed, you say you don't want, so we are granting it to you? I don't know. The lawyers would have to speak and we'll see. Again, whether the CJ has can even ask for that. Those were questions that I raised yesterday. So I believe that this is another test of our law. And for those who are interested in learning the law, they will be following and they'll be learning a lot from it. Now, I also spoke about the case of meeting a judge with two parties in a case. You meet up, whether expectedly, unexpectedly, in an environment controlled or uncontrolled. What are the circumstances? How can it influence what, if at all it can influence? So all those are conversations that we are, and as of the time I was making those general, laying that general foundation, I had not even seen that video. And you see, if you recall, I spoke about the manner in which the meeting would have occurred. You have casually gone somewhere to eat your fufu. Right. I have shown up at the same place to eat the fufu. Can that mean that because we are eating fufu from the same location, there's a cause of worry for the other party in the matter? Those are all concerns. Did we decide to go there? Were we sharing a table? Am I, as a party in the case, stalking you, who is the judge in the case, trying very hard to catch your attention? Is that also the case? So there are a lot of considerations, and all of these will be played out in the facts.
There's an update, Sixtus. So lawyers for activist Alfred Abebio have confirmed his arrest by national security operatives. Let me get this up fully. All right, now the NPP member has petitioned the president demanding investigations into allegations that judges handling the CJ removal probe had a meeting with a lawyer for one of the petitioners, and that's what we're discussing. That video at the center of the controversy, will be putting that up on our Facebook. If you're watching us on Facebook, again, good morning, but that's an update to what is going on. And so then you see there, I believe it was Justin Frimpong Kodia, pull up what he had put on. It looks like a WhatsApp story, or at least a post on his Facebook. Let me pull that up very quickly on the socials. Okay, so he had put, I guess, somewhere on social media, looks like Facebook. He says all patriots should rush to Adenta Kumi's house. Over 20 CID and NS officers are there to pick him up. The story is evolving as we speak. A lot for you and I to chew on. Michael, we haven't heard from you on this matter.
For me, I think the bottom line is the name of the game is evidence. And I think this clears the air on all the issues associated with all of this. The legalities of it, I'm not too sure. But it just raises the question then about really, so how much, how do we define privacy now? And I think it was one of the things that when I was listening to a venerable lawyer, what's his name? The one on the... What's his name? Help me with this lawyer. This lawyer, the popular one. The one who won the case on the remand.
You continue.
Yeah.
You haven't taken the...
No, the one on, what's it called? I haven't had breakfast. No.
You haven't taken...
The one who's always on the...
Martin Kebu.
Thank you very much. I don't know why his name is Council, I apologize for forgetting your name and struggling to remember it. It was one of the arguments, the explanations that he was giving yesterday on Hot Edition, the fact that, how do you define a public space in that regard? And what then is privacy if you're in a public space and all of that? So I'm sure the technicalities of that will come to light. But at least the bottom line to now is that there's evidence to clarify the fact that there was no meeting whatsoever. So everybody can put their guns down and let's make progress with this case.
Don't be quick to say there's evidence. In this country, wait till you hear from the petitioner.
Or you're trying to say that within the 1 minute they're able to influence
there's always
or prejudice themselves ahead of the case.
There's always been argument about tapes being doctored. So in the strictly legal sense of it, you cannot conclusively say.
Why do I feel like you just gave someone a missile by making that statement?
No. I'm just trying to be open-minded to all the parties in this matter. Recall the response of Thaddeus Sorry on Facebook when this matter came up. His straightaway response was, "This is a monstrous lie." Now, the other party responded by saying that we have pictures and videos. Instead of saying we also have pictures and videos, the NDC side has already released a video. Let's wait for the videos and pictures from Alfred Kumi's side as well. Then we will see which one is. But I'm just saying that let's not say we now have evidence. I mean, let's leave some room for the debate to continue.
Fair point.
Certainly. Counsel, good morning. My colleague Dennis is here.
Your learned colleague.
You did not hear counsel.
You cannot say learned colleague.
Hey,
are you learned?
I am learned.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. We will not allow that slide.
Thank you.
No, you are not learned.
Good morning, we were 90% of the way there.
Tell him.
We are the net is coming in due
course. He wants to see your law degree.
No, there are 3 syllables in that word. Net. If you are the and net are not in yet.
And Michael, let me add, it's not just a law degree, it's also a legal practice diploma from the London College of Law.
Yes.
But it's been,
I put it to you.
It's been many a year.
This is straight from London.
Yes, straight from London.
Many a year since I decided not to continue on that path. But otherwise, we moved. Dennis, good morning. Good to see you.
Good morning, Helen, and good morning to the rest of the team.
Very interesting, the twists and turns as far as this particular CJ suspension, anticipation of the hearing, although the hearing is in full force now.
Yes, it's supposed to be. Today is a Friday, started last week, Thursday.
That's right.
Thrice a week. So the expectation is that they would have had it at least twice or thrice this week. So yes, it's ongoing.
It appears it's the battle of the petition. Every day we wake up and there's a certain petition that is before us, either barring seeking to bar the petition from doing XYZ, seeking to bar this person, that person, and now the latest one is this very interesting but bizarre tale of a meeting in a restaurant. We're seeing a video, and now the petitioner has been picked up. What exactly is going on?
Yes. So we left here last night discussing that on Ghana Tonight. The petition and trying to put it in context and side by side with the video that was in circulation. But even before we left Ghana Tonight, there was an indication, at least from the petitioner himself, Alfred Kumi. He had suggested that there were some men trying to pick him up. But he did also indicate that the video in circulation was not the full complement of what he was talking about. And yes, truthfully, if you look at it in relation to what he actually put in his petition, he will be right on that score, because what he said in his petition was that there was a supposed meeting that took place between 7:30 and 8:30 somewhere. So that means that the time he was talking about was 1 hour. But you'd notice that the video in circulation is not a 1 hour video. So it means that, yes, so he also went on to indicate that there's more, or there are more videos. And on that score, you agree with him, because clearly the video in circulation is less than 2 minutes. But he was talking about a 1 hour timeline.
So that according to him, if he does produce a 1 hour video, we should be seeing what he describes as a meeting.
Probably.
Because that is what he alleges.
That's what I heard. So my learned colleague, yes, I heard Sixtus make reference to the fact that when Michael suggested that there was evidence, and he seemed to suggest that the evidence was conclusive, and Sixtus was drawing his attention to the fact that he should hasten slowly, I agree with him on that score. Because clearly we're at a point where we are not privy to the full facts of the case. Even the authenticity of the video in circulation and all that could actually come into question. But even granted that the video in circulation is actually what it is, that video does not cover the time in question. Yes, in that video we may have seen some people who look like the judges that we know, some of whom have been mentioned in the petition, some of whom are not in the video as were mentioned in the petition. For instance, like the chairman of the committee, Justice Scott Palmer, who we don't identify in the video in circulation.
That's right.
Yes, but the point I make is that that video is too short to cover the time span in question. So, as the petitioner, the expectation is that if he has the video, which he says that there are more videos, it helps us all if he makes that available too. But now we are just learning this morning that he's been picked up by persons suspected to be from the national security. That in itself complicates the whole matter now. It's just a petition. Look into it. If there's merit, let's move with it. If there's no merit, dismiss it.
Has he been picked up because he hasn't provided the full complements or the evidence?
That is unknown yet. But looking at the conversation and what we have heard so far, and to think that even he had made a post to preempt this, it's not far for me to think that there's a connection. But of course, if there's any other thing that has to do, this will come from the person who has arrested Alfred Kumi. The claim now is that the person,
even if it was an issue of he not agreeing or refusing to submit what evidence he has, would that be a national security matter? He's presented a petition. He's expected to be there to substantiate the allegations in his petition. And so far, we've not heard anywhere that he's been invited to, by any committee or by the committee looking into the allegations on the CJ, to come and substantiate those allegations. So should it just be a straight-up national security arrest?
Mind you, the petition wasn't submitted to the committee. It was submitted to the president for the president to take action. Yes, so I agree with you. We are not privy to what has happened from the day this petition was submitted. Of course, when you look on the face of the petition, it appears it is a received copy. That is to say that when he took it to the presidency, somebody received that petition. And for whatever reason, we have copies on social media. As to whether the presidency has taken steps to even begin to look at the petition beyond what we have seen in the media space is another question to be answered. Now also faces a video, which that video in itself, I mean, ordinarily, if he had the videos in his custody, he should have attached those videos to the petition to say that this is it.
That's what one would be expecting.
But when you look at the wording in the petition, he says that that meeting can easily be verified, confirmed and verified. It does not indicate on the face of the petition that there's an attachment, which is the video. If there was such an attachment, and maybe if that was the video in circulation,
it would have come from he himself.
It would have come from he, and that would have been conclusive to say that
why
the video is
hasn't it come from him? Are we lean? Is there a penchant there for sensationalism and the dramatics of it all? Because I'm a petitioner, I allege XYZ. I would be expected to provide the full complements of what I have. What we see these days is this kind of sort of teasing. I have this. The evidence will show this. You wait and see. All of that doesn't really help the narrative. That's become the order of the day, to sort of tease the public with what you have or don't have. We've seen it with, for example, and I'm digressing a bit wildly here, but I'm trying to make a connection. Reverend Intim Fojo says, I have intel. I have intercepted intel that says XYZ is on the plane. Bring the evidence. And then we were chasing, dancing, pan logo. We were tangoing for many a weeks just to get that information. And then from that, the citizenry start to infer all kinds of, it opens the scope for a lot of drama, fear-mongering, if you will.
Okay, so Helen,
sensationalism.
You see, while it is ideal that if you present a petition, you accompany the petition with all the necessary things that will be needed for the petition to be looked at. There are instances where you present a petition, but the matter that has been alleged, even though you are convinced that it indeed happened, they are not matters within your control for which you can submit. So I'll give you a typical example of what has been alleged in this particular petition of a meeting that was held somewhere. If he was there and he had the opportunity of filming the whole process by himself, that he could have submitted that. But this was an incident where the CCTV footage you are seeing is not in his control. Do you get the point I'm making? So at best,
but has he perused it? If he's had a chance to ascertain that this is the time frame, it suggests that he himself is standing on strong footing to see that it was between 7:30 and 8:30.
You cannot even be sending a petition to the president of the republic. Then you don't have the patience of time to gather the relevant pieces of evidence that you need. The CCTV footage is not your property.
Yes.
You needed to apply to the particular company for it.
Good.
And the company probably, I'm sure, wouldn't have released it. They would have to go through their lawyers.
Exactly. So when you submit it and it gets to a point where that is needed in evidence, the appropriate steps will be taken to require the company to submit that to whatever committee that is going to look into the petition.
That's a dangerous one.
It's not. That's what I'm saying. Ideally,
you are submitting a petition to the president of the republic.
It doesn't matter where you're submitting.
If I were you, my first step would be to secure the evidence.
Absolutely.
What if by the time you are invited to speak to your allegations, the company even loses genuinely? Maybe they wipe their drives every Friday.
Okay. So I started by saying that ideally, that is what you should do.
Absolutely. That would be your best case scenario.
No, but that's the best. Yes. But there's also another option that you can explore. That as it stands now, it is not within my control. But when proceedings begin, there are ways we can get that material. I can provide you with enough indications as to how to get it. Because I am not in control of it.
But you would have somehow seen it, or how
and that's
you
how
got
he
to
indicates on the petition that
how you got to know that it was 7:30 to 8:30. You would have maybe perused it. You couldn't.
No.
I agree
so
you
don't know.
No.
He didn't say that it was. He said the time of the day was between 7:30 and 8:30. He gives a span. He gives the name of the place.
Yes.
He says that this can be easily
verifiable.
That verification may not necessarily be just by way of CCTV camera.
Okay.
It could also be by other
of
people who are there.
Okay.
So when it gets to that point, and he's required to prove the allegations made, he can say, okay, at that time, Sixtus was there, Michael was there, Helen was there. They can subpoena them to come
and I'll
testify.
come and tell you I was in WA on the day at the time.
Good. You can come and say you are there. Then Helen will come and say, oh yes, I was seated there. I saw ABCD walking.
Right.
They went to sit here. They had this conversation. If there's a need for them to cross-examine or whatever, they will do so. That's just one leg of it. If you think that you do not need human beings who were there to testify, but that a CCTV footage is what will help you, a request could be made from whichever committee is looking to the petition to the institution to produce the footage between the time that you gave. You say 7:30 to 8:30.
Right.
The request for 7:30 to 8:30. When they make it available, that is it. But I understand your concern that people. I mean, it's a human society. That people, people have their own objectives for doing different things.
Absolutely.
So it's not out of place, or it's not surprising that sometimes people just make allegations and they themselves don't even want to step forward to prove them. They hide under the guise of, my life is under threat, I will not do this and all that. That's one twist there. But let's give people the benefit of the doubt that when they put in some of these matters, let's follow the process, invite them.
It's becoming sometimes a bit frustrating, though, because and you can't begrudge anybody the opinion that this is yet another goose chase, because we see it one too many times.
Okay.
I would hope that in the future, when we move forward, that if in a petition like this, that all the I's are dotted and the T's are crossed to do away with this culture of sensationalism. Sensationalism, which seems to follow a lot of our processes.
Your passion is too sensational.
Sensationalism, that seems to follow us whenever we embark on certain journeys. It becomes a lot. I would hope in future that if an individual is privy to evidence and they have it all, that they present it all, if they do have it, because it just feels like it becomes too much of a drama. Do you have it? Do you not have it? Are you ready? Are you not ready?
And I agree with Dennis on the fact that, yes, even the court processes by itself, if it were a typical regular court case, the court processes by itself, you could be compelled, or the company in possession of the evidence could be compelled to release the evidence to the court. That is fine. But you see, you are dealing with a live case that carries the entire nation along with it. A case that even the SHS boys and girls, who typically probably are not interested in what they usually would term politics, are keenly following. I mean that is the level of interest that we have in this matter as a people. So what is the haste in submitting a petition if you don't have the full complement of your evidence? And that is not in any way to suggest that he doesn't have it in his possession.
And he didn't say so.
And he didn't say so.
Sure.
Yes. Again, if you needed to submit this so that you would also protect yourself against any such harassments, as they are usually termed by national security and allied organizations, why not submit it? So that we know from the word get-go that this is your allegation, number one. This is a piece of evidence substantiating that allegation, at least from your perspective. Then when the time is due for you to meet whatever committee will be set to listen to you, or even if it's for the personal consideration and determination of the president, when that time comes for the president to look at it, he will look at it without even inviting you to say, submit more. We don't have to. I think that we drag these things too long, and it's becoming troubling. Petition this one matter. We've seen how many petitions already.
Today we'll give you a recap of all the petitions
that have been submitted in respect of this.
And there's one,
absolutely.
And there's one standing against the former Attorney General.
No, but that's a very separate matter. If you ask me,
it's not
entirely separate.
It's not
entirely separate.
It's not. You see, we can argue that it is a separate matter.
Yes.
And indeed, it is a separate matter, standing on separate legs.
So let's leave it at that.
The connections that have been drawn. You
say we cannot ignore those connections.
We cannot ignore them in the conversations that we have.
Don't you think those are merely conjectural? Like people just imagining things that it is happening because of this. But let's put that on hold. Okay. You asked the question, why the haste in the Alfred Kumi's case?
Indeed.
And I'm not holding brief for him. But just to put matters in perspective, this is a committee which is sitting on the matter. By the time they are done sitting on that matter, they make recommendations that the president is supposed to act on. The outcome of that is going to affect somebody's rights, depending on how it goes. Now, you are privy to a matter which, in your view, that when it is taken into consideration, it will protect the sanctity of that process. I am not sure that it is prudent for one in such circumstances to want to sit to wait to gather all the things that you would need before you make a move, when there's an opportunity for you to submit your petition, and then, like we made the assumption that we're not saying that he doesn't have it. Let's even say that he didn't have all of it. But the point needs to be made that because the process is live and it is an ongoing process, there has to be a timely step.
Time is of the essence, you say. So you are tactful in the way that you approach
Exactly. It is the same reason that when they go to court with their writ of summons seeking an interpretation, on top of that, they file an application for an interlocutory injunction.
Right.
So that by the time they know that it takes a long time for the writ of summons to be looked at and all that, in between, put everything on hold. So my thinking is that perhaps his view was, because the committee is sitting 3 times a week, let me submit my petition so that when they begin to hear it and it succeeds, this committee will be dissolved for the matters, for another committee to be reconstituted and taking it from there. So when you ask the question, why the haste? Why the haste? Because time is of the essence.
Absolutely.
I'm not holding brief for him, but I'm just trying to rationalize why some of these things.
When did the committee start sitting?
Last week, Thursday.
And we don't know its timelines because it was not announced.
Unfortunately, no.
But so I suppose you wouldn't take that risk because you don't know the timelines, because that could also
the next statement from the presidency could be that the committee is done.
Oh, gentlemen.
So if I got up today to send a petition to the presidency saying that I have it on record that the other individuals are conflicted in one way or the other, freeze the process, let me now gather the evidence and bring.
Thankfully, he's not asking for freezing of the process.
No, he's not.
Dissolve the committee.
He's straight away asking for a dissolution of the committee. Such a big ask. And you are saying that we should wait for you to now, I don't know, come on.
Or time check. It is some 18 minutes to the top of the hour, 8 a.m. And we could talk about this all morning long, but I do have to make way for some calls before sports comes your way. But this is on Vincent Eko Asafue's X page. He's the MP for Otafo. He says, about 3 hours ago, Alfred Appiah-Ampofo, popularly known as Adenta Kumi, was picked up at his residence by 8 armed men believed to be officers of the National Intelligence Bureau. 6 of the AK-47 wielding men wearing masks. These Rambo-style actions by government continue to raise concerns that bother on free speech and good governance. He says, hashtag free Adenta Kumi now. Open up the phone line so that you two can have your bites. Apologies again for a lack of Johnny's bites this week. We'll also be making way for the sports. So do make your submissions short, sweet, and snappy. Dennis, Michael, Sixtus, thank you for joining me on the news review. 0559 242 717. That's 0559 242 717. Alternatively, you can reach us on 0556 910 154. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Papa miss you. How are you doing?
I'm doing fine. Helen, I miss you, Miss Johnny, Miss Sixtus.
This whole week, we haven't heard your voice.
And then, good. Then Noble,
Crosby, Annan.
Oh, Charlie, you have nice news, though.
Thank you. Papa miss you. We have also missed you.
Johnny, use breath for hey, Charlie. The name Charlie. That's why you group yourself together.
Serious names, powerful names.
That's
indeed.
Nice.
Hope you've been good this week, though.
Yeah.
Nice one. Let's hear you, please.
So, see, the whole thing is just, worrying. The ugly noises from the other side. I mean, the NDP side. It's just too much. You understand me? Just too much. They have nothing to offer, and they will not keep quiet. I get what I'm trying to say. Just like, what do you call it? The former Attorney General, Godfrey Dame. You presented certain dubious letters from the military. The military should be invited, though. Maybe I heard only one angle.
Papa, you haven't moved on from Richard Jakpa's case. You're going back in time.
One angle, like what I'm just trying to put across is that one angle, like coaching Jakpa to do. There's this other angle of letters from the military, dubious letters, which the military head was invited. So the person submitting the petition should include that, because that's very key. Now, let's put that aside. My sister, Prophylactic Helen,
Papa.
You see, come Saturday, GPR should be reducing their fares. Is that not it?
They said 15%.
They said 15%. Is that not it?
Yeah.
So we want to have that comfortability in paying fares easily without any exorbitant fares being called by some of these truck drivers and their mates. And they have some surrogates there. When you go to Circle, you see them. As soon as the car lands, you are going from Amasama from Circle to Amasama, they will tell you 2020 cities. So what I'm just trying to put across is that the transport ministry should deploy a lot of Ayalole buses. I'm told they have some that are underutilized. Please, they should deploy all those Ayalole buses if they don't have, they should import them so that they will distribute them to most of these stations where when it comes to rush hours, people are really suffocating. You understand what I'm saying? Rush hours in the morning, rush hours in the evening. Please, transport ministry, we beg of you, order more Ayalole buses, and then whether electric bus, but I'm told, as I put it on my Facebook post, then Alfred Ogbami, the citizen journalist, your friend, came up to say that, these electric buses, when you import them, it will also consume a whole lot of power, which we are trying to reduce. You understand? So I think there are a lot of buses, electric buses, should be imported to augment this thing so that these transport guys, truck drivers, and their mates will not be having a slow day again after the 15% increase. You get my point, Helen?
Yes, I get your point, Papa.
Yeah. God bless you, my sister.
God bless you too. Have a great weekend. Let me get on to my next caller. Apologies, I lost that caller. 0559 242 717. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Helen.
Yes, who's speaking, please?
My name is Ullo. You can call me Mr. Common Sense.
Mr. Common Sense. Good morning. How are you?
To God be the glory.
Let's hear you.
We are just happy about your inward discussions. And let me say good morning wherever Johnny is. I say good morning to him. Let me say good morning to my own boss, the MD for TGC, Courage Nunekwaku. My sister, where my brother Papa, and I will continue from there. Maybe Saturday, Sunday, we'll be having some reduction from the lorry fare. I'll plead with the passengers as well. My sister, it should be fair. Maybe when you play your 15%, and let's say the fare is 5 cedi, 80 pesos, and they are charging you 6 cedi, I think we have to be fair in that manner. Because I know some Bukuron people now, they'll be using the calculator, they'll be and 5 cedi, 80 pesos, maybe 20 pesos. You know, we should understand the system. We should just be grateful for the reduction. I'm not saying that the mates also to take advantage on us. But my sister, I keep saying common sense. The CJ is saying what? Now she's on suspension. And she can be on suspension for the rest of his years. Am I lying? Or there is a deadline for the suspension?
Well, the committee hearing is currently ongoing, and shortly we should be getting some feedback on what the advice to the president is. So she's not going to be in suspension forever.
So if the committee works take 1 year, 2 years, so she'll still be on suspension. Is that true or false?
I don't foresee the committee, but whatever recommendations they make to the president will follow. Common sense, what's your point?
The law is the law.
Yes, the law is the
Madam,
law.
The law is the law. And this the law is the law. Is be attributed to you. Because when the noise is there, you said the law is the law. Now you are trying to petition the petitioner. Let's say now is the president that refer and form this committee. And now you people who are saying that the president is erring in some area, now you are also, I don't understand. This woman, I keep saying that she's not the problem, but because of the MPP, that's why this woman are having this all problem.
Common sense. Have a good morning. Thank you. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Yes, who's speaking? Where are you calling us from? Yo, it's you. Pacho say. Debio, Nehunya Tono. A Hoya restaurant and your hotel, Annie.
And you say a politician, Omoni with the Akura, bad law say. No, I got necessary camera, Momodi Baba, Omu Minty. And to me, the minting way one. But the Yedi, and what did you mean? And all your minty, I'm up for Afro. Hey, Omu you, the Omudi Ghana for what? What I'm saying, the law is the law. My law in here, you may. No, you're Muye, one. What is? Mamma, Mamma, some in Iron son. Come on, yes, I mean, Cabe, Dean, Mobiat, and was it? Says, yeah, woman called Kakrana or Babakra. And the way, why not know the my Yajima? And what? And to almost your money, man, or money, but that's it.
And so, yeah, Darcy, I'll take my last caller on Community Voices and make way for the sports. Hello, good morning.
I'm Helen.
Yes, who's speaking, please?
I'm Helen, good morning.
Good morning.
And then my voice is not called.
Oh, Kose.
Yes. Yeah, the Pemicha, Mr. Hughes, maybe I would be any within me now. And the Pemicha, Miss Cinema, Papa Bisu, so Anna Abu Azita, Kateriana, Chorus Nina. I'm telling, and I pay MC Adamiasi, and then I'm Yadom, or the vice president, Yamame, every group, Ghana, my Asum Gimo. I am Yadom Timoye. Na ye bomb price and coupon on Cosmo or no president or minimum a bank phone in our game. No minimum funds 30 or mine MIA. Now, Tafaniana, Miss Nema Ekano. Trot for the others for no particular. Woman will meet it for no. They say, if she and Sawum, Eddie could do a cra. If a straight car, I think within 8 cities, 90 pesos, 50 pesos to 9 cities, 50 pesos. But Ombesa, Ebesi Achimota, 10 cities, 12 Anko, 10 cities, to Pokuasi or Amasamai, 10 cities, Amasamai is home 10 cities. So then you have to waste more than 40 cities or 30 cities into Yiplachi for and show. And former Attorney General issue, no. Meaning, sir, it did a dear, Yamina, a woman, and a woman politician, a woman, and Yamabi at a chair, only no crack politics into no chantro, and to obey for an answer being back Cantano. Because the other attorney general Akwi. So I say nanke so on kwadada. But no share system by then M1 into na wan kwa na meboa. Into no ya man penny for no. Into president to or set here my name. Only set here my bibi anye me that's it.
Thank you for your call. We'll park it here for Community Voices. Sports is up next, but this is still 3FM Sunrise on 3FM 92.7.
3FM 92.7. Urban Lifestyle Radio Station.